I'm here with Pete Carroll at the Seahawks training facility. I just watched one of the most amazing training performances. I'd never realized how complex it is. And Pete, to see you orchestrate that was something.
Well, I'm sure it looks like a lot of moving parts to you. It does take a lot of orchestration and a lot of energy from the guys, and we do it very upbeat, so I'm sure you saw a lot of
it was so fun. I mean, there was such a rhythm to it, so much energy. One of the things I want to talk to you about is the book, Hit Refresh. And
Sure.
I want to first start by asking you, what does that mean to you, Hit Refresh?
Well, maybe it's interesting to you how important that thought is to us. We hit refresh every Monday. That's Tell the Truth Monday. We come right back to starting all over again and making sure that we always return to the philosophy and the approach, and we don't let things that have happened before throw us off track. So for our purposes of finding really long-term, really excellent consistency, we have to constantly return. So it's a great point. It makes total sense to us.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, in your country, obviously every season you hit refresh between every game, every practice session.
No, we hit refresh right in the middle of the game sometimes too. We have, because we're not doing like
you got to it.
Sure.
Any keys to that? Like, is there some things that you think about, or like, what is it that helps you hit refresh?
Well, I think what's really important is the guys have practiced hitting refresh, so they know, okay, all right, here's one of those moments again. Boom, we're going right back to the basics, or we're going right back to the focus. So they have practiced it. So we have a kind of a learned discipline. So it's something that we take advantage of. And they know we let go of everything that happened before that might have been distracting to us, so that we can get right back to focus and get right back on point.
That's so awesome. It's a learned habit, actually.
Yes.
That's fantastic. I know culture. In fact, I learned so much, talking to you in my early days even, about how organizations and culture is so key. If you had to sort of summarize the keys to driving organizational culture and what you've achieved.
Well, I think it begins with a really clear understanding of what you stand for as the leader, so that you have a chance to share those values, those concepts, the character that you want to build in your culture to those people who directly report to you. And if you're not clear, it's really hard to expect them to act in accordance, and so I think that's where it all begins. So is it philosophy? Is it what you're made of, what you stand for? Those types of basics. And then as you start to have a familiarity with that, how do you have a process, can you create a process to convey that so that people can act in accordance? And if you don't have that, then your culture is kind of, working on its own. So I think that's where it starts. I would love to know in this digitally transforming world that we live in, with so many moving parts that all are directed by digital and technology and all of that. How do you value and amplify the people with all of the technology focus and all of that? Where do the people come in?
That's a great question, Peter. In fact, I was so stunned when I was even talking to folks on your organization of what you're doing with digital technology, but all centered around people in terms of collecting data before, during, and after practice, and how you use that data ultimately to do what? To improve the people performance, right? I mean, it's so awesome to see, and what we can do with things like AI. In fact, we were brainstorming about how to make all of what you do even much more real time. But it's all centered around people and their empowerment. How do you amplify their ingenuity with all of this data? I mean, in some sense, you're creating this digital twin only to make the actual physical twin more powerful, better performing. The other area that I think we can really use this digital transformation is to change the fan engagement. I mean, one of the things that I can't wait for is how mixed reality and a football game can come together, right? I mean, if I can transcend even that physical space, whether I'm in the stadium or outside, to be able to experience instantly. I mean, those are amazing, magical experiences. It's coming.
Yeah, we can't stop that from happening.
That's right. It's so fantastic.
It's been wonderful.
So thank you so much, Pete. And on behalf of all the 12s at Microsoft, go Hawks.
Thank you. Go Hawks.
Thanks.